how did your sort of faith development grow? How has your faith helped you, your faith in God, helped you throughout your career? And you talked a little bit about how it sort of shaped your worldview, but I'd like to hear places that maybe were difficult and challenging for you, but your faith came in and was able to allow you to overcome an obstacle that was a challenge for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go off on a couple topics, but what pops into my mind, uh, being exposed to church at a young age and growing up going to church really was a very, very positive experience for me. I began to realize that I had a protector. I had someone looking over me. And my grandfather died at, who was a big impact, bigger than life impact on me. He was a veteran of World War I, World War II, and Korea. And he died when I was 5. And I began to equate my grandfather with God in a weird way. It was like,
Hmm.
I have God looking after me, and now I have my grandfather looking after me.
Hmm.
And it those two together kind of, my grandfather is my physical grandfather, but it all kind of became intertwined, and I always felt like I had someone watching over me, a protector, and that is God. And so I've always had this conversation with the Lord. And I've just unknowingly, no one telling me to do it, I've just started doing it where I relied on him for counsel all the way through my life as a child. Now, I moved around a lot as a child. As I mentioned, I moved all over the United States of America,
Right.
and it was something that I relied on for confidence and faith and belief that I could try things, I could succeed at things, I would be able to accomplish things. I believed I had like a superpower. And this is what I get from religion, even to this day. This is what I get by having a strong faith. I feel like I've got something extra with me. It's not just me. I have God with me. And I don't know, I hope that's not some sort of psychological disorder, but I mean, it just gives me a great feeling of calm, of serenity. And even when, and I've talked about this when I talk about my sobriety, even when I've not been on a very spiritual path, I knew that I was still tethered to God.
Hmm.
I never severed, but I would literally kind of say, God, I'm going to kind of go over here and experience this for a while. And it might not be what I should be doing. I know but I'm not letting go. So it's almost like you're spacewalking. I mean, I don't know how to word it other than that. I never had this. I never had a doubt that he would have my back. So I've just had this very, very strong relationship, and I've had a lot of failures in my life. And there was a very desperate time in my life where I was looking to God for an answer and praying every night and praying every day and just motivation. And as I mentioned, I had suffered some major challenges and some losses and some major disappointments and wasn't happy with where my life was going. And I literally had a boating accident where it's almost like God took the boat and dumped it, and I had to swim for my life and save 4 other people. And it was a literal thing. And as I was swimming, I swam for 3.5 hours. It's in Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes. I swam, and it was literally where I was like having the conversation. I hear you. I understand I'm wasting my life. I will get motivated. I will immediately do what I think it is that you want me to do. And I really feel like God was pushing me to be an actor. I had acted as a child. I never really saw it as a profession, but I felt like I was being pushed in this direction. You are a storyteller. This is what you should do. And
So
it was a
this boating accident happened before your acting career?
exactly.
Okay.
And I made a deal and I survived it. And I about a month and a half later, I moved to Hollywood. And I showed up with this, I was imbued with this confidence and this swagger of I've got God with me. I've bless you. I've survived this boating accident. I've saved all these people's lives. If I can survive that, I can survive Hollywood. And it gave me this confidence. And sure enough, within weeks, I was validated. I had a opportunity to audition for a play. I got this play. I got a job. I got out of living in my car. And I was on my way, and it was like I was embraced by this community. I met all these people. And the next thing you know, I'm an actor. It's
Wow.
literally so. But as far as with substance abuse and my sobriety, um, you know, once I realized I did have a problem with alcohol, and once I really started going and working the program, the whole program for AA, you basically is you're really working on your relationship with God. It comes from the Episcopal Church, the originators of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it was there that I was reminded that really what I was doing was I was replacing my relationship with God by using drugs and alcohol, and that I really need to go back and develop that relationship and find a more spiritual connection again. And it saved my life. After that, my wife had encouraged me to get sober so we could have some kids, and I followed her lead, and I've got these two wonderful children. So yeah. God has always been there for me, and my relationships there. It's a daily thing. And I feel bad for people that don't have faith, to be honest with you. I really do.
You have any advice for them based on your life experience, like someone who's maybe struggling with the concept of believing in something higher than themselves,
I think,
to use AA language?
yeah, I think that you have to come to the realization that everything that you're experiencing, this world, this universe, it didn't just be, it became, it was created. And there is a higher power, and it is God. And God is very, very real. And you can connect with him if you work at it. It takes work. And you develop the relationship, and it's just like any other relationship in your life. The more you revere it, the more you will get from it. The more you respect it, the more it will respect you. It's a thing that you have to participate in it. You can't think you're participating. You have to participate. And I have an atheist brother. I'm not going to name him, but I have an atheist brother, and I don't know how to deal with people that have no concept that there's something greater than them. I mean, I just can't. I can't fathom it. My advice is to really investigate and really try to. If you need facts, really try to figure it out and follow the facts, and you will. The facts will lead you right to.
Yeah, to a belief. I mean, I think human beings are wired for belief. I mean, it's no coincidence that throughout the course of human history, the vast majority of people from the vast majority of places have believed in something outside of
Yeah,
themselves, whatever they called it. It was something
yeah,
greater than outside of creation. Like it's a part of a logical deduction. We're kind of wired for it. Like it's part of our natural psychology and natural even biology if you want to go there. But the point is that we need this. This is like in the same way that we need food, water, and shelter, we need faith. It's a deeper connection, and someone who is starving their faith or starved of faith and connection with something higher is missing out on something and malnourishing themselves spiritually, and that plays an effect in other areas of life as well.